Another unit we use to measure an angle is called a radian. Now, a radian, this is getting a little bit more specialized, and arguably a radian is kind of not a unit. It's kind of a raw thing. I'll talk a little bit about that, but really, what a radian is, imagine we have a circle here with a particular radius. Well, this distance, the radius, if I was to take that distance and to lay it out along the circle, I would get to about there. You know, it's going to have to curve, so it's going to be about there. Well, that is 1 radian. This is the distance. This angle formed is 1 radian. And so, well, okay, that's fine. How many radians would be a full revolution? Well, we know that the circumference of the circle is 2 pi r, and so whatever distance this is, 2 pi times the radius of the circle would be how far I'd have to go around. It looks like, actually, in total, 1 full revolution would be 2 pi radians. So this is a little bit strange because it's not a whole number measurement. It's something. It's approximately 6.28 radians. 1 full revolution is approximately 6.28 radians. That's just 2 pi right there. So, but what we can do is we can still do our normal unit conversions. We know that 2 pi radians is equal to 360 degrees. Like I said, that's 1 full revolution. You can actually reduce this. If you take and divide both sides of that equation by 2, you get pi radians is equal to 180 degrees. That's probably the easier way to do this because there's less math involved there, less to do. So if you want to convert something like 57 degrees to radians, we're going to do our standard unit conversion stuff. I want my degrees to be on the denominator since I currently have degrees in the numerator, and that means the radians are on top. And well, I know that pi radians is equal to 180 degrees. So I'm going to do pi radians on top and 180 degrees on the bottom. So that means when I'm multiplying here, I'm going to take 57 times pi, divide that by 180, and this will give me 0.995 approximately. 0.995 radians. So 57 degrees is just slightly under 1 radian. If we had 1.52 radians and we wanted to convert this to degrees, oh, this says round to the nearest hundredth. Rounding this to the nearest hundredth, actually, I should have gone 0.99. So in case you feel like I should round this number to the nearest hundredth, keep in mind I just rounded this to the nearest thousandth. If I then rounded this to the nearest hundredth, it would actually round up to 1.00. But that's not actually what I'm wanting because the original number here, you can see when I round this to the nearest hundredth, it rounds to 0.99, and that's where I should actually round it to. Don't round more than once when you're rounding. Alright, so if we want to convert 1.52 radians to degrees, well, 1.52 radians, if I want to convert this to degrees, that means I want degrees on the top and radians on the bottom, so the radians will cancel with radians. Well, I know that pi radians is equal to 180 degrees, and so that's how I set up my fraction there. So 1.52 will be multiplied by 180, and then I'll divide by pi to get 87.089, whatever. It says round to the nearest tenth of a degree, which will be right here, so 87.1 degrees. This was in radians.